Hey YouTube! I'm back and welcome to Unfit Nerd. I'm your hostess, Emily Patrick, and today I've decided I'm gonna start my first ever series of informative tutorials. Now the question is, what would a nerd teach people? How to scale walls like Spider-Man? No. How to collect comics? I don't have the nerdy criteria yet to do nerdy tutorials, but I hope to someday soon, and I really am boning up on my comics on YouTube. But today, I'm actually going to do a tutorial on kind of some basic information about brand ambassadoring. What is a brand ambassador? How do you become a brand ambassador? Why would you become a brand ambassador? Just some of the, who, what, whys. Maybe not wheres necessarily, but where is international actually for brand ambassadoring. And why brand ambassadoring? Well, dear YouTube family, I don't know if you've noticed, and you probably haven't, I actually am a professional brand ambassador by trade when I'm not making funny, nerdy, opinionated, educational videos for you on YouTube. I am actually spending my time making my money as a brand ambassador or promo girl. Many of you don't know what this is, and I know many of you don't know what this is because I'm frequently asked what this is, which kind of hurts my heart. You take my heart and you break it when you ask me. So I'm going to answer that question first off in this video. What is a brand ambassador or promo girl? Make it more PC. Promo person. Well, a brand ambassador or promo person is someone who is hired either directly by a company or by a third-party staffing agency to promote a brand, either brand image, brand concept, or a brand's product, whether it's current, future, or new. Now in my case, I frequently get hired by a third-party staffing agency in order to represent brands. Generally what this means is I am either handing out promotional information about the company, what they're about, what kind of services they provide, things like that, or I am demoing, aka demonstrating, or / selling a product. Now when you demonstrate a product, usually you're showing off how it works and what it is and what it's called and all that, and selling it. So you don't always sell when you demo a product. Also, sampling falls underneath the category of demoing. For instance, if a company comes out with a new flavor of ice cream or something, you might be asked to go into a grocery store or mall or somewhere and hand out free samples right next to a giant truck that has their logo slapped on it. And these are all the types of event promos that I do. And promos generally refers to an event that you do, or a gig. So there's some brand ambassador slang for you. Promo, gig, event, all the same thing. It just means, the location and time that you were asked to work. So now that I've covered the what, why would anybody want to be a brand ambassador? It sounds complicated, maybe, or maybe it sounds ridiculously simple, and who would want to do that? Well, for one, I love ridiculously simple. Ridiculously simple. Which is why my videos are currently ridiculously simple. But why would you want to be a brand ambassador? There's several reasons. One, a brand ambassador informs people of their availability, or when they see an event, gig, or promo that's within their availability, they request to see if they can get that event. They don't actually have a set schedule. Now, for some people, no set schedule, I can't do that. However, if you're a little unconventional and you don't like being stuck so much, or you just have so much on your plate, you have a very specific time frame that you can work, and you don't want a boss to ever ask you if you can pick up extra hours or stay longer, promos might be more your speed. So you pick your own schedule, 1. 2, second reason, the pay. Now, pay for brand ambassadors fluctuates in a broad range. Events can pay you a flat rate sometimes, which can be good or can be bad. It depends on the event. But most will pay you an hourly rate. Now that hourly rate can be anywhere from $10 to $60 an hour. You're like, 60? 10 sounded alright, but 60? What are they thinking? You sound like you're doing nothing. Why are you getting paid 60? Well, there's several reasons why you might get paid as much as 60 an hour. One of those reasons being that because brand ambassadors have this highly flexible schedule I mentioned, the reason is a company might hire you for literally 1 day of work, and it might be just 1 4-hour shift, and they may never need you to promote for them again. Or another company might hire you for 2 days a week for multiple months. Because of the varying degrees of availability and need, brand ambassadors can get paid a lot. Also, ones that are up around $30 to $60, many times those are what I love to call the non-family friendly promos. Now, I'm not saying you're doing crazy steroid drug-induced something. No, it's legal. It's perfectly legal. Don't call the cops, okay? It's legal. It's just that the non-family friendly promos are things like your liquor promo, your e-cigarette promo, your cigarette or tobacco company-based products that are requesting very pretty, very skinny, very specific type of girl to frequently wear very specific outfits that may or may not have a lot of material to it. And also those promos, their clientele has to be at least 18 or older by law to have these products. So this isn't like your kid-friendly Disney hug-a mascot kind of a thing, okay? So obviously they're going to pay you a lot more because they're asking a lot more from you. Also, getting paid anywhere from $30 to $60 may be paying you that much because you might be a site manager. And depending on the company, what they're willing to pay and do for you, you could get up to $30, $60 an hour. It all depends on your position, what they ask you to do. Honestly, the size of the company, the bigger the company, generally the better pay. And, of course, the type of product you're representing. All these things factor into your pay. So obviously, smaller company, more family-friendly, not asking you to do a lot, it's going to be creeping dangerously close to 10. Now sometimes they will float around 15 to 20 an hour, which is generally where I like to stick myself. I prefer to never work anything under 15 because I don't want to spend a lot of hours doing one promo that's 10 when I'm seeing several that are 15, 20, 25 an hour. Especially, I've also been doing this for 2 years. When you're just starting out, $10 an hour, there's no shame in it. You're just getting started. You have no experience. Okay, so we've done the what is brand ambassadoring. We've done the why would you do brand ambassadoring. Now the question is, who would do brand ambassadoring? Now, brand ambassadoring can be done literally by anyone, though I'm not going to lie to you guys. Jobs for you, many times, are going to be sparse, unless they are doing an event that is not gender specific. But generally, promotional and brand ambassador work is highly given to females because, well, eye candy. I know it sounds sexist, but in this case, it's sexist in my favor. And I'm sorry about that, but there are promotional events that will specifically want guys. A lot of times, though, guys, this is going to be because they're going to want your muscles to help them lift and move stuff. Again, stereotyping, sexist, I know, but generally it'll still pay alright. Also, on occasion, liquor promos will want a guy there to help keep eyes on the girls because, well, a lot of times they're giving out some kind of a sample or a special offer at the bar for, to increase buying of whatever brand of liquor it is. In which case, sometimes they will request, one or two guys join that team in order to keep tabs on the girls and make sure they're all right. Because, well, you don't want to overwork the bouncers at any club. But, so for the most part, yes, female-dominated industry. Now, as far as age is concerned, some people are curious, well, am I too old? Am I too young? Now, yeah, if you're really young, you might have trouble getting gigs because someone might assume you're not reliable. However, prove them wrong once or twice, they'll love you. So I've seen brand ambassadors, depending on who they're working for, if it's direct for a company or if it's family owned or whatever, I've seen brand ambassadors as young as 16, though it's very rare. So if you're 16, don't assume you can just jump out there. I'd recommend waiting until you're 18. But I've also seen brand ambassadors up to, I think I've seen one in their 50s. And there's no shame in it. Now, if you are over 40 and you're just starting out, odds are for the most part, unless you look young, and I'm not trying to discriminate against older ladies, but typically, unless you look young for your age, or if you find a company that doesn't ask for a photo, which those happen, they don't care what you look like, they just need a body. But other than those two provisos, if you're just starting out, you're probably only going to be able to do in-store, like grocery store sampling type stuff, or in-store demoing. Now, if you've been doing it for a while, then you're probably actually a manager or going to get a manager position fairly quickly because they assume since you're in your 40s or up, you're responsible, you have a lot of skills already, and they assume they can trust you, which is great because managers get paid more anyhow, but you have a lot more paperwork. So, then the next question is, we've done the what, we've done the why, we've done the who, and even though the little sequence always mess me up because it's not another W. How? How do I start being a brand ambassador? Which is a great question. I get this all the time too. What I recommend is if you don't have any friends that do brand ambassadoring that can help recommend you to a position and you can work side by side with them for your first couple events just to kind of wet your feet and feel comfortable and safe and know that you're at least with one person you know and you trust, then I recommend going to any of the following. First off is a site that I use on and off fairly regular. Well, now that I've been networking more, not as much. But I recommend a site that some people love, several people hate, and possibly even more fear after a Hallmark family movie, Craigslist. Now, of course, Craigslist isn't like the most popular website to feel like you're getting a legitimate anything, really. But if you're careful, you use your noggin, you read it all the way through instead of going, oh, it says promo. It says X number of dollars and some hours and easy. Doesn't necessarily mean it's legit. If they ask you for your photos, I would be very concerned, depending on the type of photo. If they ask for like a headshot and just a body shot and clothes, you're good, that's normal. If they ask for like special outfits, yeah, I'd be concerned. Now, if you don't feel comfortable doing Craigslist, which many people don't, I recommend doing Facebook. And the way to go about this is go ahead and type in your computer. Type in brand ambassador of, and whatever is your nearest major city. Now, if you happen to live in your nearest major city, this is very convenient because you don't have to travel and people will think you're more reliable. The further you have to travel, the less likely they think you're going to follow through. So, go there and check out the page go ahead and subscribe, like it, join it. A lot of them are open enrollment. Some of them aren't, but that's okay. That means they'll have less, junk mail, spam, sell you something junk on there. So do Facebook. If you're really of interest, you can even go ahead and type in experience marketing agencies, and you'll find things like, who do I like? Stuck for Staff, Victory Marketing. Network Promotions is okay, but they don't pay a lot, but I still like them. Ignition Inc. is actually the first company I ever worked for, and they pay all right. The staffing is pretty good, and their paperwork isn't too bad. Who else? I'll see if I can think of some other companies, and I will try and post some links to their website so you can automatically enroll into their roster. Once you get into someone's roster, which should be free, if you are paying to get into a roster, you are not in the right kind of site. It should be free to join their list of potential brand ambassadors and promo workers. And a lot of times they'll show calendars of events they have coming up that they'll be looking for staff or are looking for staff, so you can start applying automatically to work promotional events. What else? Oh, other than sites that I'll try and post for you guys, the best way to become a successful brand ambassador as far as getting booked and finding jobs is networking. Yes, it might be a pain in the butt to try and find your first one on your own, but after you start getting your own events, the second you start getting booked on events where there's more than just you working it, you need to start making some brand ambassador promo buddies. These people are just as excited most of the time for you to be working as them, because they know they help you get a gig, you will help them get a gig. Look at my eyes. I'm looking at yours. Help them, they help you. This is how I get a lot of my events and gigs. So, you help them, they help you, they help you, you help them. Now, yes, some people might end up being pains in the butt, constantly asking you, hey, are you working something? Can you ask them if there's an opening? Sure, it might get tedious, but trust me, your paychecks will turn glorious for enduring the tedious. Okay? So, networking is very important. It is the lifeblood of your promo career. So network the socks off of it. So in closing, you know what brand ambassadors are. You know why you want to be one. You know who can be one, which literally is everyone. And you know how. So, go out there and get some jobs. If you have questions or have a particular tutorial on brand ambassadoring you would like to hear about, go ahead, post it in the comments. I will do my best to start teaching you all that I know, and if I don't know it, I'm going to find you a brand ambassador that does, because that's the fun of networking. There's always someone who knows more than you. So until next time, ciao.